Hi guys, and welcome back to the Ride Right Waxing, a UK one-wheel channel. So, part 3 of my 80s BMX Raleigh Burner build. I do now have the other forks. So the original set of forks were going to be, or are going to be green. And these are obviously going to slot on the frame just here. And that's matching the green wheels. And the second set of forks I've got are blue. Now, obviously these ones are in very good condition, which have been powder coated, and these ones were not quite so good. So what I've actually done is I've given it some thought, and I was going to fill them and everything else, but I quite like the old look, should we say, the weathered look, because this is all original, and that way then I've not filled and tried to mask up anything. So these are the blue Raleigh Burner forks that are going to go with the blue wheels. That's to go with the frame that was on the roof of my car. If I quickly spin around that way, there we go. That's for that one just there. So blue forks, white frame, green forks, white frame, and 2 tins of paint to try and match it. So what I'm actually going to try and do, if I just quickly spin that back around, is I'm going to try and attempt now to paint. Let's put these ones down. I'm going to paint the front of these forks here now green and blue. So I'm going to mask this up and then cover the rest of the frame. Scotch all the area up to give myself a bit of a key. This is what I've been told. Again, I'm no painter. I could do with my buddy Lee over here really, because this is what he does for a living and is very good at it. But I'm going to have an attempt. I'm trying to work out the distance here of where we put the line, because your stickers will blend into this bit and obviously down through here. I'm going to mask it, key it all up, and then I'm going to move the masking tape in just a couple of mils, so I know I've got a very etched edge, so the masking tape it's not going to peel. I know the sticker will cover it anyway, but then I want to get good coverage. So I've got blue paint to match the front forks I've had mixed up, and I've got green paint to mixed in with the green forks. Anyway, enough of me going on. I'm going to put you on time lapse. I'm going to mask this up. I'm going to get into this and hopefully lay down my first bit of green paint. So stay tuned. Let's have a go. Okay, so I've got myself a bit of Scotch-Brite and I've got myself some frog tape. This just gives a nice sharp edge. So I'm going to mask this up, I'm going to measure it, pop it on time lapse, key it all up with this, hopefully get a real good key surface, give it down a wipe down with some spirit wipe, and then we're going to move the wheels behind and yeah, attempt to give this a coat of paint, but many layers. So let's have a go. Now, I am a little bit unsure. I've looked online. There's so many pictures where the actual blue line on the team burner is parallel. This is a rough mask, just so I can get this keyed up. I will move it in a mil or two. And there's other ones where the bottom line comes down further. I don't know what quite is correct. I'm just going to eyeball it and think, yeah, that looks right, and go from there, really. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, let's get back into some painting. Right, okay, that is now all keyed up. Trying to get in all the little areas so we don't get any paint chipping and flaking off. Covered that pretty well. What I'm going to do now is just move the masking tape up a couple of mil, mask off and sheet off the rest of the frame, spirit wipe it all down, and just chuck down the first dust coat of green paint. So I'm so hoping this goes well, because I don't want to ruin my new frame. Anyway, so back onto time lapse. Let's get this sorted. so there we are, freshly painted. Pretty happy with that. Was a bit worried about it, actually. Obviously, never really done it before, but we got a really good finish on there. I think we can get the light on there. Yeah, really happy with that. So I'm going to let that dry. As you can see, I was hair drying it throughout the processes. So yeah, let's go around the other side just quickly. Use my squeaky shoes. Yeah, really happy with that. It's come out lovely. And we're going to do the same with the blue frame. But first off, we're going to get into, once this is dry, we're going to get into building this one all back up. So, stay tuned. Okay guys, so I've managed to get the headset obviously all compressed in. We've got a bearing just in the top, and I've managed to also get the bottom part of the racer on the forks. I managed to use a rubber mallet for that, which was good. So that's all ready to go in. So we're going to slot that in. I'm going to pop some grease just quickly on the threads just to help the top part of the headset to go on. So yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so we've got some copper slip all laid on there, and we're ready to install the bearing and washer. So what we've got is a little shim just goes on just there. I've copper slipped the top part of the thread, so that just sits on as a spacer, and then we're going to pop the racer. Now this is a tapered racer, so that will sit nicely just in there, and we can actually slide the front forks straight in. So making sure the gasket is in the right place, we're going to slide that up through. And we're going to get the head threaded part, so the bearing at the top's just popped out there. So push that back down flush, and we're going to screw that on. Now this is a Tang BMX 360 alloy head part, 320 alloy head part, and the copper slit there will just help hold it in place, but also give it a little bit of lubrication. So let's get this done up nice and tight. We'll try and do it finger tight first, and then if need be we'll get the spanner on it in a second. Now we've got a bit of tape here on the spanner just so we don't damage this lovely anodized head nut, should we say, on here. And we're just going to do this up. So I'm going to pop you on time lapse just so you don't have to sit through me tightening up a nut. And yeah, I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, so we've got this little castellated kind of serrated nut here, which sits just quite nicely on the collar, and that will locate into the back of the actual headset, or the fork should we say. So I think that just clicks into place. I'm liking to think if we can just get that a little bit tighter, and then we can put the head nut on and away we go. So yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so that's now all on, which is good. We've just got to tighten that up. So onto the handlebars now, and the headset. Now, do we go black headset, or we do go polished chrome headset? What do we go for? I'm gonna go black, I think, with this one. Now we're going to leave the polished chrome one for the blue bike. I actually ended up removing this and lacing it with copper slip, so it went in nice and smoothly. Okay, so we've copper slipped the shaft, and we've actually greased down inside each side of the frame. So we've got a bit of copper slip just to tidy up here. And this is just so we don't cause any corrosion later on, and obviously it's easy to remove, which is good. And I think the headset looks quite nice in there. So yeah, we'll get the handlebars on, get the front wheel in. I'm going to move you back a bit so you can have a quick look, and I'm going to put you back on time lapse. Okay guys, so we're going to get onto the braking system now, but just very quickly, this is the other headset that I got, and this is the Tang BMX 320 alloy head part set. You can just see it red there. So we've got this lower race here that goes onto the forks. We've got the inner bearing just here, and these are sealed bearings, a little shim washer just there. That locates on the bottom. So that goes into the bottom of the fork there, which is that one. And then on the top section, we've got this really cool, this is all very lightweight. We've got the bearing just in there, which is a sealed bearing, and this beautifully lightweight and drilled aluminium headset. And that is the one that goes just in here. Now you don't see too much of the aluminium because you've got this lovely anodized black threaded section just here with like a serrated tooth to the top of it, and then we've got this little keyway there. We've got the key just there and the threaded part just here, and that locates into the back of the groove on the fork, because on top of the fork we've got like a little entranceway, and then that will locate in, and then we've got the nut that goes on top. So then that looks very much like so. So that's all tightened up. I just thought I'd show you that because I kind of got on with it because I'm just super keen to get this done. And like I say, I appreciate quite good engineering. So a little bit dearer than your standard one, but again, really trick, really lightweight, and yeah, looks a business. So we're going to get into fitting these brakes. We've got a brand new set of braking components to go on here. DIA comp. This is the, as I said earlier, we've got the DXE MX890 front brake, and we've got in here a whole new brake front caliper, which is just here, and then we've got the brake lever just in there with all new fixings. So I'm going to pop you on time lapse. We're going to get this bolted in, and yeah, go from there. So stay tuned. Sorry, just really quickly, again, never fitted any of this stuff before, so it's all new to me. Now we've got these curved washers that come in with the brake components. We've got a nut and a washer just there. Now I can only but assume these will sit against the curvature part on the frame, so causing a flat area for the brakes to bolt to, basically. So it gives them a flat surface, and the other one must go around the back with a nut and washer. So I'm hoping that's right. If it's not, anybody feel free to comment below, and I'll take it all off and put it all back on again. So anyway, back to top. Okay, now onto the brake lever, and then what I'm going to do is pop you on time lapse from now, and I'll fit the back brake as well as the front brake, and we'll get all this on. I'm not going to do these up too tight, so I've obviously get handle grips. I've got to go ahead and get those ordered up. So let's get on to this. Okay guys, here we are. I am so pleased how this is looking. This is kind of how I had it in my head. We are getting there. Front wheels are all on. We've painted up all these little, like, I still don't know what they're called. But anyway, the studs here are ready to take some pegs. The wheels are spinning freely. We've got our new tyres on there, the Comp 3. We've got the DIA Comp front brakes now all set up. Got to wire up obviously all the braking cables, which I'll do, but yeah, it is coming out lovely. New brake levers just up there. Got to get some handlebar grips. We've got to fit the crank and obviously chain ring, and obviously the chain, but yeah, I am super happy with this. I need to tighten up this back wheel though. I've obviously left a few things loose because we've got to play around with it. I do need to get some green Skyway blocks for the front, but we've got these little brake lever. I can only but assume when you've got flex on the brakes, this pushes against the frame. I know they're quite rare. I have no idea if I fitted those right, but no doubt I'll end up going over some of this stuff and redoing it as I lay in bed, etc. Looking at YouTube and looking at obviously all the different pictures that are out there on Facebook and understanding how some of this stuff goes. So a little bit of a learning curve, but yeah, we're getting there. We've got a seat to fit just up there. I'm going to wax oil just inside the tube in all the frames as I've done on the headset, and obviously put some lube in the handlebars there. But all in all, I'd like to think that is one good looking bike. Once we get the decals on there, that's going to look really, really cool. We're going to have a blue one to match as well. So thank you ever so much indeed for watching this episode. This is episode 3. I'm going to load episode 4 as the finished bike. I've got to get a few more bits ordered up just to finish this bad boy up. But definitely we'll have it rolling with the brakes, seats, handle grips, etc. I don't know how long the stickers will take to get, but next attack is the crank. So please stay tuned. Please obviously tune in to episode 4. But until next time, thank you ever so much indeed for watching. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. But until next time, I'll see you soon.